Looking to sound like you know what's going on in the world? Social strategy, comedy, and other funny stuff? Well, join the club and settle in for the Jeff Dwoskin Show. It's not the podcast we deserve, but the podcast we all need, with your host, Jeff Dwoskin.
Oh, thank you, John, for that great introduction. It's great to be here with episode 2 of the Jeff Dwoskin Show. I'm Jeff Dwoskin. The naysayer said we wouldn't make it this far, but here we are. Very excited to be here. I got the producers a little nervous, said I wasn't going to come back. You're like, you got to come back. The show has your name on it. It'd be a marketing disaster if we didn't have you. So here I am. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I made the choice. We got some great interview coming up. The CEO of Clipisode, his name is Brian Alvey. That'll be coming up in a little bit. And in future episodes, because we'll probably run out of time after the interview, covering such topics as keeping up with the Kardashians. Should you or shouldn't you? That's something I think we all struggle with. Khloe Kardashian recently changed her entire face. So now you got to keep up with that too. There's just so much, you know. And the other big thing in the news is Pottery Barn is now by appointment. You know, I struggle with Pottery Barn. I've walked in there so many times and not bought anything. And I like going in, but I don't know if I have the gumption to go in by appointment and not get anything by appointment. So I'm going to have to weigh my options on that one. That's the reality of retail. Here we are in this pandemic world. So I almost had a sponsor today. My almost sponsor was My Scale, but it turns out My Scale is Republican. How do I know? Because it keeps lying to me. I see what it has to say, but I know it can't be true. My Scale, Republican scale. Don't use it. So no sponsors this week, but that's open. If anyone needs to call and be a future sponsor, please let me know. But without further ado, we're going to go right into the interview. All right, so we're here with Brian Alvey. He's the CEO of Clipisode. He's got a brand new app out called Answers right now, Answers RN. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining me here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I put on pants because I saw that we might be doing video.
Oh, yeah. Well, pants is perfect. I'm wearing pants too.
Nice.
Which is great for a podcast. So everyone will be able, we'll have to put what your pants are in the show notes so that doesn't go unnoticed. So you've got this really cool app. I used to use your old app, Clipisode. I love that app. And this is sort of the new evolution of that, right? A talk show in a box in an app.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the old app, thank you for using it. That's very cool. Thousands of people use it, but not millions, right? It did okay, but it didn't really light the world on fire. So we learned a couple things from a very interesting ally named Snapchat. And they told us some things we were doing wrong. And we decided to build a whole new app. And very quickly, people ask, why did you just change the old one, right? And it's kind of like, Tesla had a Roadster, the little sports car. And then now they have an SUV, and they could have put more seats and more doors and more stuff into the Roadster, or they can say, you know what, that works for a certain type of person, but we're going to do a whole new model for a whole bigger audience. And that's what the new app is all about.
I love the new app. I used it a lot yesterday and I was playing with it, and I'm going to use it for this show in the future to request things from people.
It goes hand in hand with podcasts. It's perfect.
Yes,
complement.
It's an amazing podcast tool. And then also for brands, I can imagine using it, or celebrities asking questions, or any kind of Q&A. Do you want to just describe the app, like what how cool it is in terms of what people can expect when they're using it?
Yeah, I'll describe the app without saying how cool it is. Because that would just be wrong. No, I appreciate it.
I'll say
well, no, so we thought of this whole idea of like an AMA, right? An Ask Me Anything session, a Q&A session, whether it's stars having moments with their fans or brands talking to their customers, right? How do you make that ridiculously easy? Just ridiculously easy. There are very few products where it's a win for everybody. The company making the product, the two people using the product, right? And so we tried to say, like, how do you make this so simple for stars that they're like, oh, I spent 30 seconds on this week, and it was fantastic. I filled my socials with video. My fans are raving, and these fans have a moment with people they love, these stars they love, or these brands they love. Some people love brands. So we tried to make that experience really easy, and that's it. It's just when you any other way to try to do video Q&A sessions with your fans is going to suck 100 times, more than the way we make it work. It's a weird way to say it. It works like this. If you're a star, you're Taylor Swift, and you want to ask your fans questions or have them send you videos, the ways to do it are terrible. They can put them in hashtags. They can put them in a tweet. They can DM them to you. They can send them to your Gmail address. Those are all horrible. You don't get the rights to the videos. You don't know who sent it. It's 200 videos come in 200 different formats. So we make this ridiculously easy to do inside apps people are already using. Taylor Swift doesn't have to ask her fans to download some app to send a one-time video reply. She just says, click on my tweet, swipe up on my Instagram story, and without leaving the Twitter or Instagram apps, you watch her question, you see what she's looking for. It's not live. You can Google your answer and not look stupid. You can do 3 takes, whatever you need to do. And then your camera magically turns on without leaving those apps. You send her a video. She controls the process the whole time, so you can't do anything crazy or nefarious. And then she uses those videos and puts them back out on her social channels. So you have a moment with Taylor Swift. You feel like you got a hug from her, but she was never in the same room as you, and she did 13 seconds of work.
That's great. And just, I got to know from my lawyers while you were talking that none of us have ever actually talked with Taylor Swift.
I know a guy who used to run her socials, and so she's on my list. Yes, I love Taylor Swift.
It is an amazing, it's an amazing experience. So it's really easy to use in terms of, and if you go to @Dwoskin show right now, there's an example of one there with a question you can answer. And so basically I as the host pose a question, and then you as the users can just click on it from whichever platform you're really using, a variety of platforms, and just literally record yourself, and it gets sent to me, and then I can post a response and then post both your question and my response together to my social channel.
Yeah. So, and here's the cool thing. The pain point for somebody, especially a Taylor Swift, right? Or, Beyonce, Howard Stern, whatever. When you're asking people to send you stuff, you're either going to get a couple of replies, or you're going to get a couple of 100 replies, right? And everybody's like, oh, damn it. It's another inbox I have to check. 230-second videos come in. That's an hour and a half of video. I don't have time to watch that, right? So that's really, really, really hard if you're doing it any other way. And the way that we do it is, one, no friction for your fans, right? They don't leave the tweet, they don't leave the Instagram story, they send you a reply, and they get back on with, seeing what the president's doing, or going to, check out some ad. Anyway, you get all these videos in, and instead of having to watch an hour and a half of video, we show you posters, kind of like a Tinder card that just shows you, like, here's the person who answered you, and right on top is the caption. So now you can just skim through and read them. Delete, save for later, delete, answer. When you choose one of those to answer, we take that question and we take your answer. We combine those videos together. We put animated titles on top of it. It looks like a little show, but it's a really tight, quick, short show that fits inside a tweet. So now you can crank out 3, 4, 5 of these things, put them back into tweets. You just generated 5 videos with your fans. You tag your fans, they share them because they're in them. So that's that's how you would use it for specifically podcasting. You can throw out questions. Hey, who should I have on my show in the next few weeks, right? Or, hey, I'm having, Pink. We'll stop doing Taylor Swift. I'm having Pink on my show. What should I ask her, right? You can source content from fans. You can use that audio in your podcast. And then afterwards, you're a year in. Hey, after my first year of doing these podcasts, what was your favorite episode? What did you like? What was something you heard about on one of these shows that you've never forgotten? A book, a quote, a way to be, that has always stuck with you. So it's like we said, it's a good complement to these things, but it's just an open-ended way to get video content in the moment at scale. And there's no friction for anybody, the hosts or the fans.
Yeah, it's an amazingly easy app to use, and yeah, I agree. It's an amazing way to generate massive amounts of great content that really engages with your fan base and your customer base. So
yeah, you include them.
Kudos to you. Where do I get this awesome app?
So answers.rn.com will take you to it. It's in the iOS App Store. It's for iPhones, iPads, all the devices. And that's it. Answers RN.
All right. That's awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Brian. I appreciate
This is fun,
it.
Jeff.
All right.
This is very cool.
All right. So that's it. Answers RN. That's the app. Definitely check it out. Download it. You're going to love it. And we're going to take one quick break.
Can't get enough? Follow us on Twitter at Jeff Dwoskin Show and follow our daily musings and hilarity. It'll be like we're always there with you.
All right, we're back. This is Jeff Dwoskin, the only one here. Anyway, so we're going to check in real quick with Hashtag Roundup on Twitter at Hashtag Roundup. They do tons of great, fun hashtag games. Big fan. We're going to feature fun game by the Wild Bunch, led by Race Bandit. With graduation in the air, the hashtag was hashtag my advice for grads. So Richard says, there's always money in the banana stand. That's a reference from Arrested Development. Great advice in that show and in real life. Always money wherever you find bananas. That girl, her advice, marry the nerd. This is important. I thank my wife. She took this advice. Obviously, she just knew it at heart. Rob says, turn back. It's a trap. Great advice from Star Wars and Admiral Akbar. Never trust anything. Everything's a trap, folks. Adulting is a trap. You've been tricked into leaving your childhood. Congratulations. Dan wants you to remember that face tattoos are a really bad idea if you ever want a job. Liz also wants to remind you not to touch your face. So a lot of advice for the 2020 grads focuses on the face. Don't put anything on it, and for sure, don't touch it. If you want to help mom, learn to do your own laundry. And I think the best advice that you can take from anyone is don't take advice from people on social media or podcasters for that matter. Anyway, I'm Jeff Dwoskin. Thanks for stopping by again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Jeff Dwoskin Show with your host, Jeff Dwoskin. Now go repeat everything you heard and sound like a genius. Catch us online at thejeffdwoskinshow.com or follow us on Twitter at Jeff Dwoskin Show, and we'll see you next time.